guys, so it's time for another RuPaul's Drag Race review of of season 10 of RuPaul's Drag Race. And it's Tank Top season finally! Alright, so it was a pretty interesting episode this week, wouldn't you guys say?
Yes, I agree.
There's almost as much drama as last episode. Speaking of drama, let's talk a little bit about what's still kind of going on between Monique and Mayhem. So, it kind of bothered me this got brought up again because I felt like it was pretty well covered in Untucked. The only thing that wasn't covered is that Mayhem didn't really get to speak her side because everyone was talking over her. So they brought it up again, and still they continued to speak over her. And I feel bad for Mayhem in this situation, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, she kind of got put into a spot, and she just didn't have enough balls to really speak her mind or speak up. So I mean, in a way, she kind of put herself in that position.
She did, and I see what she was saying, where it's like she wasn't really saying like this is Monique's fault. I mean, Monique wasn't there; she didn't hear it, but she was saying like, yes, Monique is a big personality. I should have stood up for myself. I didn't, and I don't think she intended it to be as an attack on Monique. More of a like, I should have been more responsible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish, though, that Monique would have let her talk and kind of defend herself a little bit, because that's kind of been the theme of some of the girls this season, is it's like, I'm going to say something, I'm going to ask you why you feel this way about me, but I'm not going to let you say or answer the questions I'm asking you.
Right.
So, I mean, it'd be like, Elias, what did you think about this situation? And then as soon as you start talking, you're like, bah!
Yeah, and you can't even talk.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
He does.
Alright, so anything else, any other input on Mayhem and Monique, guys?
No, it kind of died. I mean, some new drama kind of came to the surface tonight, so...
Yeah, later on. We'll talk about that in the Untucked. Alright, so let's talk about... First of all, I want to say, thank goodness Sean is back. I was so happy to see one of our Pit Crew alumni. He was one of my favorites, and I was a little bit excited. Like, I tried to play it off pretty cool, but
You
like...
were. You didn't play it off. You were really excited.
I don't know. He's a cutie. I like him. Alright, so let's talk about the challenge. So we had the Fun in the Sun challenge for the swimsuits. We also had, was it summer in Miami, but it was like winter wear?
Well, it was
Climate change.
Like the climate change, so it was.
Okay.
It was like summer Alaska, bathing suit, winter Miami.
Gotcha. Okay, it makes a little bit more sense to me now. I was like, I think they listed these wrong. So we had that, and then we also had the Martian look. So let's first go through. We'll talk about our tops of each category, and then we'll say our bottoms overall. So who do you think was the top in terms of your summer fun look? You can say one or two.
I would say that Miss Cracker had the best, like, beach Hawaiian, like, bathing suit made out of her hair, and her hula scoop was made out of a green wig. I thought it was very creative and very well done. It was good. It was a concept. So that was my top one. I don't really have a second one.
I think I liked hers, but I think there could have been more there. I don't know. It was interesting. I did like what she did with the wigs though in the back. What about you, Elias? Who was your favorite?
I liked Cameron Michaels' look a lot. I know some people won't agree with that one.
I liked it.
But I liked it a lot, and I actually, believe it or not, liked Aquaria's take on it, doing the lucha libre, which is like Mexican wrestling, and I thought that was kind of cool too.
I liked when our friend thought you were making that word up.
I know.
Yeah, where did you come up with that?
It's a real thing.
But they said it during the commentary too. That's why I was like, oh.
Didn't they even watch Nacho Libre? That's like historical accuracy right there.
Yeah.
All right. I actually agree with you. I thought Cameron Michaels, I liked her look for the swimsuit look a lot. I liked Blair St. Clair's a lot. I thought hers was pretty creative. And it was very polished. I liked it a lot. But yeah, those are my tops, I think, for the swimsuit competition. Who was your favorite for the summer in Miami? Or was it winter? I don't know. The winter one.
Winter Miami fur.
Yeah, or ice. Ice or fur.
My favorite, kind of trying to remember. I really liked Cameron Michaels. It was very well done. very like. I mean, the only thing I didn't like was that she had like that kind of like metallic goatee that made her look kind of mannish. But just the whole concept, the way that the makeup was done on the forehead and like the bodysuit, I loved it. I thought it was really good. I was living for it.
Okay. What did you think, Elias?
My favorite was Cameron's also. He just does these really great, elaborate looks, and I think they're awesome. But I do have to say, Aquaria did good about feeling the Miami vibe, even though it was winter, by doing the neon colors, because that's very Miami.
And the fur too.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
He did the fur into the Miami.
Like the minx like tails and yeah,
He did it, like,
kind of like a
with the
Pokemon
colors.
character with all those tails.
Yeah, I was unsure because those kind of looked like tales from like a sexual thing. But no, I think my favorites were Aquaria and Miss Cracker. I thought Aquaria's was creative. It stood out amongst some of the other queens because there was a lot of like gray, icy looks, which a lot of them were really, really cool looking, but they kind of started to blend together a little for me. It's kind of like in the past when they've done space challenges and everyone's done that like chrome or shiny silver look. It looks good individually, but I kind of like to see a little bit of variety or a more creative take than just that.
Well, my take on it is I kind of feel like when they're all given like a theme challenge like that, and it is like a mainly one color scheme, it kind of helps you see who the more creative ones are, who will have a different think or mindset to do something a little bit different, like a different color. I mean, with Fifi O'Hara last season in All Stars 2, with the Future of Drag, she had like that green alien suit, and the rest of them had like silver and. So.
But I did love Miss Crackers actually too.
Yeah.
I like how she had the little like weapons, like ice spike looking things.
Yeah, Miss Cracker was giving me Rainbow Sherbet realness. I don't know, just like the pastels, but they like looked really good together, and it was not super loud, but it was like noticeable. So I really liked hers a lot. I think out of the two, hers is probably my favorite. So let's get to the Martian looks. So this one was a little bit harder for me to figure out who was in the top for me. Who did you think, Jay?
Again, I'm going to say Cameron Michaels was my top pick, but then I really liked Miss Crackers, like the little helmet and just a little bodysuit. Very well done. I mean, but Cameron's like just, God, it was so like, I couldn't take my eyes off of him.
See, I think I disagree a little bit. Like, I don't think that Miss Crackers was the worst, but I kind of agree what her concerns were at the beginning was, is this too straightforward of what Future looks like?
Well, it was
or Martian,
Future was
I'm sorry.
Martian.
Yeah, Martian. I don't know. For me, it was like a little bit basic from her. I thought it looked good and was polished, but it didn't
Hey, she
stand
was
out
top
to me.
two. The judges loved it. So.
I mean, she did do a polished look of a basic look.
Right.
She knows how to construct a costume to look really well. So even if it was basic, she did it very polished. It's better than somebody trying to go overboard and then not looking polished.
Missing the mark, yeah.
And then missing the mark, like.
Yeah, I think I've seen more creative things from her that, like, I don't know, this one just didn't stand out amongst some of the other good things she's done. So maybe she's just set the bar too
Well,
high.
it's only the
so
fourth
far.
episode, so I'm sure that we're going to see a lot more stuff.
That's true. Hopefully she stays around.
But Cameron Michaels' night, like all around looks, were my favorite of the night.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised she wasn't in the top. The judges made some questionable decisions.
Yeah,
For me, you listed your tops already, right?
yeah I just
Okay.
said Cameron.
Well, I wasn't sure if you said had another one. So I guess for my tops for the Martian, I honestly really liked Eureka's. I thought it was creative. She used the blues really neat. It was very like geometrical. She kind of had like a squid head going on. Like when she first walked out, I was like, oh no. But then when she got into the light, I was like, oh, like it's pretty creative for her. She used her form well. She created a very unique silhouette.
It was a pencil skirt.
She was executive realness Martian.
She looked like if Mary Kay went into like this metallic like
But she did
Future
good.
makeup, she would be like their
I
salesperson.
think she did good though.
But I mean, business. It looks good to me. And I also like Dusty's a lot. I know the judges didn't like her very much, but I thought hers was creative. It was very, it was eye-catching, but not over the top.
She kind of looked like a steampunk, like with the metallic, like the metal silhouette, and the steam glasses.
And they gave them a lot of steampunk materials. Like
Yeah.
whenever I go to a Comic-Con and I see like the steampunk areas, I was like, oh, I've seen all of those things before. So I do think she kind of had to work with what she got.
Yeah.
But I thought she did well with what she had. Who do you think the worst was for you? Overall.
I have to say, was it Mayhem that wore that squid looking leather material,
The quilted red.
or was it Monet? Who was it?
That was Monet. Yeah, 'cause
Monet.
she was in the bottom.
Horrible. Absolutely. I mean, it looked like a mess. It wasn't very well put together or constructed. Falling apart on the runway. I just thought she looked like the inside of a alien's butthole. I mean, ugh. Girl, bye.
Wow, tell us how you really feel.
That was my worst.
No, I think that one, it broke my heart seeing her cut that fabric, but
Okay.
it broke my heart seeing her cut up that fabric, and I agreed. I forget which queen said it, but like I hate when I've seen queens using materials that I've used or I've seen people use or things that I can't afford,
And she's just cutting it out.
and I see them waste it, and I'm just like, oh no, like I would kill for that, and you're wasting it. You're not taking advantage of what you have.
was that Asia that was saying that?
It might have
Yes.
been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was.
She's like,
'Cause I think
didn't even
she
measure,
wanted
was
it.
just cutting, and she's
Yeah.
like, that's expensive fabric.
So who's your bottom Elias?
Monet.
Monet.
I did not like any of her looks.
Yeah, I didn't hate her last one, but yeah, the other one's kind of sunk her. I would say my worst individual look was, and I'm sorry to say it, I feel really, really bad, but RuPaul was my worst look of the night.
Oh,
I
she's
applaud
not
her.
in the competition. She's not
I know.
in the race for $100,000.
I didn't say the worst look in the competition. Michelle Visage's fair game sometimes, but
I don't agree because that's something Rue never does, and she was bringing her drag into the future.
I know. I am
didn't.
glad for
But
her
she
for
could have
trying.
done it in a way where she
It
didn't
wasn't
cover her
bad at
face
all.
because she's always known for her makeup and her wigs.
Yeah,
and
but this was something different. So why wouldn't it's you guys? It's okay for somebody to do something outside of their box that they normally do.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Without getting a bad critique about it.
I agree. I'm glad that she pushed herself out of the box of just fancy gowns and she like really went with the challenge. I did think that.
Well, her lips looked like they were swollen. Like she just had like Botox injections and they were swollen from a procedure, and then her face was covered with this like skin tight mask, and then this
artistic
wig.
one, and you're
I mean,
like,
she looked like a popsicle with pubic
No,
hair.
she didn't. You're
Yes,
like,
she did.
You're like the artistic one.
Yeah, I'm
all the
artistic, and
time,
there's a way.
You can't even see a vision of
I-
something else.
Okay, I'm allowed to not agree with you or what I was looking at. I mean, yeah. I mean, just because you liked it doesn't mean I have to like it too.
To you.
I like how this was my opinion, but you guys are the ones duking it out over it. So I'll just say real quick before the Vixens interrupt me. I just want to say, like, I really liked the idea of it, but I felt like the face coverage was really distracting, and it made it hard to kind of take her seriously as a judge in her role. I'm glad she committed to the theme. I thought that she did a really creative job. I just think that she could have done something a little bit better. It's RuPaul. She has access to the funds.
RuPaul, if you ever see this, I love you and I loved it.
I love you too. I just didn't like out of. You've had a lot of great looks over the past 10 seasons, and this was just one I didn't like. I'm sorry.
I just expected more from you tonight.
It was good. It was great.
All right, let's move on before I have to cut this down for time. So let's go into the untucked realm a little bit. Eureka made some sort of comment. I didn't quite catch what she said. Apparently, it was interpreted as shady by Vixen, but Vixen's been easily to escalate here lately, or like pretty much all the time. What were your guys' thoughts on this situation?
Well, I mean, they were in the corner talking, Vixen, Eureka, and Monique Hart. They were just talking, and I guess Eureka was saying something, and Vixen just cut her off, and that just is what set her off. Because when someone else is talking and Vixen, she's known for cutting people off, and that made Eureka mad. So,
But no, Eureka said it's because you're very crafty or something.
Yeah,
And then that like blew her over the edge.
and that's what I heard too. I heard something about her like you understanding this challenge more because you're crafty. And I don't know if she saw like a shady comment in there, or like I missed something, or I felt like I missed something, or she just misheard something, and it immediately became her just like, oh man, I just can't handle you. I just can't handle you. You're the girl that I thought you were. Blah 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 blah, blah and just going off and getting up to the 10 level again for no reason. And Eureka's just like, all right.
But they're both in each other's face clapping. They're
Yeah,
both doing that.
Well, clapping. Nobody was clapping off though.
Well, I think that
They were all
Vixen
just
was
clapping
thrown
off.
off because I don't think anyone's ever stood up to her the way Eureka did. Like, they're both...
No, usually people back down. Eureka like literally stood up to her, and like I think you pointed out earlier, she like her voice squeaked a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that as much as it's like as bad as it sounds, like coming from like, I guess let me start over. So with her comment last week about having like issues with Aquaria, like yes, Aquaria said some shady things, but I think that Vixen has come into this competition with like she has a chip on her shoulder. She needs to prove she is the toughest one out there, and that no one's gonna mess with her. And Eureka, I thought, made a good point where she thinks that this gives her power. Yelling and barking at people and trying to dominate them makes her look powerful, makes her look like, oh, I got her. I gave, what was it they said last week? Is like, oh, she got hers gift wrapped and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, no, it's just making you look bad. And I get what she was saying last week where it's like, you came for me, I came for you, then you cried, I look like a bitch. But this time, it was just her being, like, she got that way with Miss Cracker last time, trying to stand up for people. She got that way with Eureka this time. She's just trying to escalate everything she can. I think that she thinks this is the way she needs to get airtime. And that's a problem.
It's just, it makes her look like an ass. Like, she's really showing herself this season, not in a good way at all.
She could be a really good person, but don't make yourself like that person all the time.
And I think she's walking around with like, I'm here at a disadvantage. Everyone else has an advantage over me. And I'm going to somehow even the playing field by being awful to them and messing with them. And
Yeah.
I think that's, she's in her own head. She's kind of got the Nina Bonina Brown effect, where Nina Bonina Brown was like,
Just thinking of herself.
I'm just gonna collapse and be whiny and sad. But she's like, no, I'm coming for everyone because everyone's coming for me, and they're not. They're trying to like be jokey with her, and she's not gonna make friends that way.
Mm-hmm.
People are either gonna be fake nice to her and agree with her, or they're going to be confrontational with her. And there's not much you can do about it.
Well, she kind of buckles too when she's not the shining star. Like last week during that Tap That App challenge, she was getting mad at Eureka for stealing Steen and you know, making herself like, you know, well, yeah, she's outshining you. Don't get mad. Outshine her. Like, don't buckle.
No, I agree, and I wish she'd have brought it up during the episode where she mentioned it a little bit of like, oh, here she goes stealing the show.
Yeah.
And oh, here she wants to make a fat joke. Eureka's just working with what she's got. She's saying, you know what, I'm a big girl. I'm using my body to my advantage. And she's just throwing out ideas. She wasn't trying to be mean. I mean, again, we only see edited versions of these things. But she had Vixen was given a role where she could have been a loud show stealer. She was the crazy person in the street with a sign saying the end is near.
Yeah.
She was probably the most boring person out there.
Yeah.
The church ladies were louder and more obnoxious than she was.
She could have been like super crazy, loud.
Yeah.
Like shaking them, like it's in his near, like just getting really physical and animated. Like she did nothing with what she was given in that challenge.
And like, let's go back to season 6, Darien Lake. She won the challenge by being ahead in a box that got about like 5 seconds of airtime.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's talent. She got maybe a third the amount of airtime as some of the other ones did in that specific scene, but she didn't do much with what she had, and she had a lot to work with.
Yeah.
So she also wasn't she the leader of that challenge? Who was in charge of that? No, Blair was in charge of that challenge. Yeah. I was gonna say, if she was the leader of that challenge and she gave herself that part, that's on her. But no, Blair was the one in charge of that challenge. Anything else you guys want to weigh in on this episode?
No, I mean it was a pretty interesting episode. I kind of felt like it was a lot to kind of digest for being the 4th episode of the season with 3 looks, and it was a lot.
It's a lot of tears this season.
Yeah.
Laganja set a trend. I don't know.
Something.
Gosh.
True, yeah.
Can you imagine season 6 if Laganja wasn't there? Adore would have been the Laganja of that season. Oh,
Probably would have been not in the top 3 either.
I just thought of something else. I wanted to give props to Aquaria. She was like really good to
Dusty.
She was good to her and said like, "Hey, fight!" And then like some of the other queens like, "Wow, like that was really good of you." But of course, someone had to throw shade her way. I'm like, "Wow, I'm surprised. You're finally a real person." Like,
you get 100%.
and she's just like, "I can't be mean. I can't be nice. I can't make a joke."
Well,
But it's
what
the
it
truth,
what it
though.
but what
Yeah,
it
no,
what
I-
it is though is that they all know that she's a fierce competitor and she's in the game, and she has the potential to rise to be in the top 3. Like they're threatened by her, so of course they're going to be shady, even when she isn't trying
And
to be.
she is cocky as all heck in those
but
cutaways.
she's been cocky, so I understand more that because I probably would have said a sarcastic comment like that too.
Yeah, even in her like interview when they announced who the queens were, I was like, ugh, I'm not gonna like you. Like, you're just talking about how I'm here to prove that I have everything. Everyone thinks that I'm not good as I think I am, but I am. Like, when people are telling you that, that's not good. I don't know, but I like this episode. Are you guys excited that there's actually some drama this season? It's not just Nino Bonina inventing it in her own head.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all for this episode of Nick's Nerd Network. We're going to see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
If you like this episode of Nick's Nerd Network, please like and subscribe. If you have different opinions or would like to share some of your ideas, please share these in the comment section below. Please keep it constructive and friendly. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day.